Greetings, guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Monette, and this is my channel, Evolve with Monette. I'm a professional intuitive empath for those of you that are new here. And today, the quick client lesson of the day is if you can't trust them, they're not trustworthy. So this is something else that comes up all the time where we all have our little inklings and little nudges of our intuition. Our angels are communicating with us. Maybe we're getting angel numbers. Maybe we're seeing synchronicities, but someone in our life does not feel trustworthy anymore. And we begin to question it, we begin to wonder, and we begin to do what we love to do as our beautiful divine feminine selves. We begin to second guess that energy. We begin to make excuses. We begin to say a lot of things for a person or over a person when the issue is that they're usually not trustworthy. Now, for many of us on this journey, we are empaths, right? That means that we are all too familiar with the narcissist dynamic. That means those lovely people that love to snack us, are they so lovely? Perhaps not. But what it means is that they see our kindness as a weakness and they think that they can take advantage of that. And also, it means that they are not necessarily trustworthy. They are often lying, projecting, and whatever. If you're not dealing with a narcissist, maybe you're dealing with a basic run-of-the-mill cheater. In my West Indian culture, this is called bad-minded, right? Someone who always thinks the worst of somebody else, so can't fathom or imagine that you may have a pure intention or a sincere energy towards them or anyone else. So there are a lot of bad-minded people, and my mom would say, bad mind, she bad mind soul, or my grandmother would say that she is so bad-minded, essentially. You know people around you that are bad-minded, and it means that they are not trustworthy. It's because they are the ones that are doing sneaky things. They are the ones that would steal or be kleptomaniacs. They are the ones that would do illicit drugs, sell them, make them sell their kids drugs. They are the ones that would cheat. They are the ones that might have multiple partners. They are the ones that may have a separate marriage or a double family or a double life. Bad-minded people love dirty, devious stuff. And that dirty, devious stuff is definitely part of our human experience. We all have light and shadow. But in order for a healthy relationship to thrive, there must be trust, right? There must be trust. And bad-minded people don't come with their own storage or supply of trust. And narcissists specifically do not come with that. So they try to yield that from us. And then what happens, empaths, is they start to look at us and think, that they hate us because they build resentment because they can't imagine that we could be as good as we project and or say. They would like to find the chink in our armor. The reason that they dig so hard, provoke, and try to actually entice you into lower vibrational behavior, devil energy, if you will, is because they are bad-minded. They can't fathom that you would be on this earth and not feel, think, or do the things that they would do. They can't fathom that you wouldn't take advantage of opportunities that would come up. They can't fathom that you would be in a space where you would say no or be integral. That means they're bad-minded. You might have coworkers that are bad-minded, maybe a bestie that's bad-minded. Maybe you have family members that are bad-minded, or loved ones, or a lover that's bad-minded. No matter your race, ethnicity, sexual preference, we all have dealt with people of this ilk, and it's because they carry, like I said, zero self-efficacy, self-restraint, or self-trust, selflessness in their soul. So don't beat yourself up when you encounter this kind of energy and think, I just don't know how I could have convinced them differently, and why wouldn't they trust me? They know who you are because they know who they are not. That's a bad-minded person. They know when you're good or not, but they will play games according to the level of energy that stirs in their soul. And then when the games backfire, they'll say, well, I just, one of my favorite sayings that I learned in the South, like butter wouldn't melt in their mouth. Those are the bad-minded people. Those are the sociopaths among you. Those are the narcissists, covert and malignant, that roam amongst us. These are the monsters that mimic human behavior, but never have felt it. It's all an act. It's the Truman Show. And the thing is, they're not Truman. They're the cameras watching. It's really creepy. That's what it feels like to deal with a bad-minded person. Someone who's always observing and waiting to prove their point that you are just as cravenous, as duplicitous, as low vibrational as they are. Beware of the bad-minded people in your midst, because if you're not careful, they can start to convince you that maybe you are seeing the world from their perspective. This is healthy brainwashing done by a healthy, unhealthy person. When I say healthy brainwashing, you're getting a healthy dose of brainwashing, is what I meant to say by an unhealthy person. Be very careful. Empaths, are you bad-minded? No. Do you have moments where you're not happy with a situation, or where you want to lash out, or where you ask yourself, should I subscribe to my lowest vibrational energy? You do, but what happens? You self-correct, don't you? Yeah. That's what it is to be a light worker. That's what it is to be an earth angel, to know what it is to pull up and to pull out of a situation so that you don't get to your lowest shadow self. Our shadows are where all bad-minded people live. We all have a shadow side. You need it in battle. You need it to protect yourself. You need it when you need to stand up for yourself. As the saying goes, it is better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war. We all have a sharp edge. We all have a blade that's hidden. We all have a dark energy. We all have an internal bitch. That's that Queen of Swords energy. Bad-minded people live in that space. Don't let them pull you into their world or their ideals that that's the way we live always. It's not healthy. It's good to know your shadow side. It's good to know your healthy side. It's good to know that if you need to access your own well of bad-mindedness, you could, but you don't operate from there 100%. And that means, sweet empaths, my divine feminines, my beautiful light workers, it means that you are good. You are balanced. You're whole. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Come back and join me next time, and we will continue to evolve together.